The Cake Day by Rovlo. I never eat cake. I just can't do it anymore. How am I ever supposed to know what's in it? What are its contents? Is the cake even real cake? So this story happened a few years ago, but I've only decided to open up about it now. It seemed fitting for some reason, and I just have to tell it to someone. There has to be something I can do about this. It all started out as a perfectly normal and boring day at work. I arrived, chatted with a few friendly and not so friendly colleagues before I eventually had to start my shift. After having grabbed a cup of coffee on the way, I swung the door to my office open and stepped inside, only to be surprised by a small package sitting on top of my desk. I stepped into my office and closed the door behind me before inspecting the package. It was wrapped with a colorful paper secured with a red band around it. If I didn't know better, I'd have thought it was my birthday. Which I did, but I checked. It turned out my birthday was still 11 months away. I'm not good with dates. Anyway, I found a single note attached to the package, but the words written on it didn't exactly make much sense to me. Happy Cake Day! Even though the words didn't mean anything to me, I didn't pay it much attention. After all, there was a package on my desk and I still had work as well, so I figured I'd better hurry up. Tossing the note aside, I unwrapped my unexpected present and opened the box to see what was inside. It was a cake, which, thinking back to the note, shouldn't have been that surprising. I secretly had hoped to find something inside that would explain the purpose of this gift, but I was feeling kind of hungry as I had skipped breakfast that day to make sure I'd arrive on time for work. Assuming the cake had been from one of my coworkers who wanted to repay me for my help, I stopped wondering about it and sat down behind my computer. I was really hungry for a piece, but it was almost 9 and my boss was sure to swing around soon to check whether everyone was working. The cake would have to wait. Eventually, my boss showed up around 11 to check whether I was doing something or not. After he left, my now starved stomach and I immediately jumped toward the cake. I'd spent the last 2 hours thinking about that damn delicious gift as I absentmindedly pressed some buttons on my computer waiting for the boss to make his rounds. Finally, the time had come for me to fully appreciate that sweet gift that someone had left behind for me. I cut off a piece and lifted it with my hands as I was far too hungry to go grab a plate from the cafeteria. Thick, red liquid ran down my hands, making my mouth water. Oh, how I love strawberry sauce on cakes. Whoever gifted me this knew me so well. I'm pretty sure I ate the whole thing in under a minute. It wasn't great, and it definitely didn't taste as good as I had expected, but I was so hungry that at that point I'd probably have eaten a human being. I had hurt myself though, as I'd bitten on some kind of small, smooth white rock that had been inside of the cake. Really, whoever made this cake did not know what they were doing, but I was starved at this point, so my stomach didn't really care what it ate. Anyway, I drank some water to remove the bad taste from my mouth and sat back down behind my desk. The more I thought about it, the less I liked that cake. It tasted really strange, and it was all kinds of squishy, but definitely not the good kind, if there even was such a thing. I'd only been working again for about 5 minutes when a message popped up on my computer. Naturally, I opened it, only to find that it was sent from a private address. The message itself was labeled Cake Day and had a file attached. It was a video. I opened it. I watched it. But I shouldn't have. It was a video of a young girl doing things she loved, but something was off. The way it was filmed clearly showed that the girl wasn't actually aware that she was being filmed. This unsettled me slightly, but my curiosity was far stronger. I'd continued watching, seeing a few more shots of the girl playing tennis. And then I vomited. Out of nowhere, I was greeted by the girl's unsettling smile. The camera was zoomed in on her face, but not far enough to hide that that's all there was. It was just her head. Her bloody, disembodied head. A few more horrifying shots flashed in front of my eyes before the video went dark. But it wasn't over yet. A full-body image of the girl appeared on my screen with her body cut into sections with lines, each of the sections numbered. Cake Days, it said above the image. I recoiled as I looked at the picture. There were 7 sections, each one of them numbered. I looked over at my shoulder at the small white rock I'd bitten on earlier and saw the number 1 placed on the lower half of the girl's face. I threw the entire cake away before making myself vomit up every bit that I had eaten. I excused myself and left early, pretending to be sick, which wasn't very hard at that point. They've been coming in for a couple of years now, and today will be the 7th and last cake day that I will ever receive. I've just thrown them away without looking, as I didn't want to be confronted with the sight of that poor girl ever again. I have done my research, though. I quickly found out that the girl was named AJ Thompson and that she had been posting on some sketchy forums about the exact same problem I had before she disappeared. I foolishly tried to find her, but the last trace I could find of her was up until about a month before I received my first cake. What worries me, though, is the last message she ever posted online. It seems that what gave her hope now gives me fear. AJ4Eva, hashtag AJ Thompson 447 wrote, "No, I still don't know where those cakes came from, but I do know I never touched any of them. Friggin' weird, man. I think this creep sending me those weird cakes is giving up soon, though." The last box had a message attached saying that unfortunately, my cakes had run out and this was going to be my last cake day. Then it said something about how another person was going to be having his very first cake day soon with his own special cake recipe. Really creepy, to be honest, but I'm just glad it's over for me. Whoever this new dude is, he can get all the cake he wants. It'll be here soon. It always comes at exactly the same time. I was right. I can see it through one of the cameras I've installed facing the front door. A lone package sitting on my porch with the image of a blue cake on the side. My last cake day. The cake itself should be depressing enough, but there's something far more unsettling than the cake. I can hear someone banging on my door. But if I can hear the banging, why can't I see anyone on the camera feed? For the love of anything you hold dear, don't eat the cake.